Hello everybody, I'm Eddie B and welcome to my channel. I finally got around to looking at my March 2022 bargain bead box. For some reason I looked at a lot of the reviews, so I knew what was in the box. Well, the package. I knew what was in there, so I don't know. I discovered something about myself. I am not a blue person. Now, the items that came in this month bargain bead box, they are gorgeous. They are beautiful. Just look at some of the colors that's in the box. Look at all the beautiful blues. But my favorite, I love these. These are pretty. And these are the crystal rondelle beads. They're beautiful. They're shiny. I think they're gorgeous. And now these are the ones that I use in my in one of the items that I made. I use these. Let's put them back. Got to be careful because they like to roll on the floor, and once they get on the floor, I'm not chasing after them. And let's see, I didn't use these. Didn't use these at all. These are the metallic blue green iris beads. These are pretty. Yeah, I didn't use these either. So let's see. I used these. These are beautiful as well. These are the glass cloud beads. I've never had any of these, so I really didn't know what to do with these. But that's okay. I don't know what to do with them just yet, but I will put them in my stash and I will eventually get to use them. But I love this type bead here. I didn't do anything with these either. These are the matte flower. No, these are not the matte flower. Yes, it is. It says the matte flower. These are the round beads that they have. They're cool to the touch. These are nice, but I didn't do anything with them either. But everything in this box is really, really gorgeous. But I'm sorry, I'm just not a blue person, and I discovered that. So I didn't use any of the chain because I got a lot of chain already. Now I like this piece here. What do they call this? That 20 millimeter glaze. The handmade bead. This is pretty. And I use this in one of my pieces as well. So I got one left. But look at all of this stuff that I have left over. Oh, and this. I kept pondering over this. I just didn't know what to do with it. It kind of spoke to me a little bit, but I don't know. I just didn't do anything with it. This is that, it's a 50 by 34 millimeter. It's a bird cutout pendant. And I think it's cute. But it just didn't speak to me right away. But I will show you the items that I did make. Oh, look at there. And I use these. This is that number 6. This is the turquoise oval bead. And I use all of them with the exception of just those 2 here. So I've showed you all the things that I didn't use. Oh, and these little bitty tiny, what are they called? These are the crystal round beads, marine blue. I've used some of those. I think, well, these are nice, but they're fragile when you're trying to work with them. You got to be careful when you're working with those, and I'll tell you more about them. The little bird beads, I like those. Let's see. Oh, the clasp. You can never have too many clasps. And let's see, this one, all of these, I just put them. Oh, I love these too, and I actually use these in my project. And when you see the number there, that's actually, it just keys me as to what it is. I remember that was number 17, and that's that glass drum bead. These are nice. They're so soft. They look like little candy. I like these. These are pretty. I use them as well. And so let's put all of this back. But I am looking for something. I can't find it. Oh, but I use these as well. This is that number 4, and these are the little swirl links. Yep, use those. So that's enough of that. So let me show you the items that I did make. It ain't gonna take but a minute. So look at that, the blue. Even the bag is gorgeous. It's pretty, but blue is, I don't know. No, I don't know. Who knows? I'm still young enough for my taste bud to change. So let's get to the items that I did make. Okay, we're going to start with the oval pendant that came in the box. Now, this is just a practice piece for me. I'm trying to get better with my wire wrapping. So for this piece, I did use that oval pendant, that great big piece, and I used that swirl link, and I used some cord ends, and I used some 20 gauge wire. And I think the 20 gauge wire was a mistake for this particular piece. It just didn't hold. Now this little swirl piece, this is the one that came in, I think it was that chandelier piece. I used this right here. I used this, and what I did was just took off that bottom edge right here. Yep, just took off that piece here, and I'll fix it to this here. Now normally I don't know, and I used some cord ends with the little hole in the top, and I wire wrapped and made a loop here, and I didn't put a chain on it or anything because this is just a practice piece for me. And I've been working on trying to improve my techniques with that. Now I did make this piece. Now I think this one turned out better, and this one turned out better because I used thicker wire. And I think this turned out pretty good. That was that donut pendant that we got some time ago in one of the boxes. But this one turned out better than this one. And yeah, but this one was so badly damaged, so I didn't mind, you know, kind of playing with it and messing around with it because it's actually cracked. The wire is holding it in place because I can take my fingernails, you can't see it, but I can take my fingernail and just flick it. It's broken. So this was just a practice piece. But it turned out pretty good. The pattern is nice. I just need to improve my technique, but this is much better. So that is the pendant that I made from the box. So let me show you the others. What you're looking at now is my turquoise oval bracelet. And I use those turquoise over beads, hence the name. And I use this 20 millimeter glazed porcelain handmade bead. And I made a rounded shape. And I used some 16 gauge wire to go through each one of those beads. And I used some, I think it was 22 gauge wire. And I wrapped all around the beads, as you can see here. And I used some bead caps from the box, and I used copper charms from my stash, well, copper chain from my stash, and I used a closed jump ring and a lobster claw for this piece right here. And that is it right there. Yep. So this is the closed jump ring. You just hook it there, and like I said, I like little dangles on all of my pieces. And this turned out pretty well. And these are the bead caps that are securing that piece there together. So this is my oval bracelet. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, what you're looking at now is my sky blue bracelet and earrings. These are the earrings that I made, but we'll start with the bracelet. The bracelet is cute. Now for this piece, I use the I think it's the 8x6 millimeter crystal rondelle beads. I use the swirl links, and I use a couple of those little bitty bicones there. And I used some bead caps. I used the clasp from the toggle clasp from the box, and I made this little piece here. This turned out to be nice. I wire wrapped everything. I made little sections, and as you can see, I wire wrapped them. Each one of the section I wire wrapped to the to this little link here, and it turned out very nice. And you know, when you wire wrap things, it just does not come apart. So I also use the same pattern for the earrings. And I made a little dangle here. You know, I'm loving these dangles now, the longer earrings. I've known at one point in my life I would not wear them, but I am loving the dangles. And I use the Lever-Bite copper ear wire here, and bead caps, and a little bit of small spacer here. So when I wire wrapped it, it just didn't squish it up. So this is the sky blue set that I made. Hence the theme for this month. I think the theme is what? Yeah, sky's the limit. I guess that means it's blue. It's not blue right now because it's cloudy right at this point. So that's that part right there. So let's move on to the next one that I made. Okay, this set I made a necklace. This is the only necklace that I made from the box. Now I could have made lots more, but these are the pieces that actually spoke to me. So we'll start with the necklace. Now for the necklace, I used the those little drum beads, the glass drum bead. I believe they're 8x5mm glass drum beads, and I had a dragonfly in my stash here, and from my stash, and I believe they came from the dollar bead box with the little traversine around it, and it really went well with this. The color, it just offsets everything, and I think that's nice. It turned out to be very nice with that. I used some little tiny spacers. I used the little tiny silver ones, and I had some little bitty turquoise color little spacers here that I put in between and made a pattern out of that. And I used, now this piece I didn't use any copper or anything. I used silver instead, and I think that silver really makes it pop. And I used, of course, a closed jump ring, and I used a lobster clasp. And this is the 49 strand wire in here that I used. And I use crimp and crimp covers, and I love the crimp covers. I just don't like that naked piece showing. And I made this necklace here. Now to go with it, I used, these are the earrings that I made to go with this. And I used the same pattern. I just mimicked what was on the necklace as well. And I used this little flat back ear wire, as you can see. I found this in my stash. I didn't know I had those, but I thought it looked nice with that. So this set here, I think it's nice. It's a pretty set. This is almost my favorite, but it's not my favorite. Okay, now this is the very last set that I made. Well, this is a pair of earrings that I made. And as you can see, I used the 12x9 crystal over faceted. Now, I wasn't going to use these beads at all. As a matter of fact, I was putting things up, and it just came to me just to see what I can do with it. See, it spoke to me. And I made a pair of earrings, and these are nice. This is a 16 gauge wire here. And I cut a section off, and I hammered it down and made that little silver, well, this is copper. I made a copper paddle, if you can see that. And I use a bead cap below, and I've used 3 bead caps here on the top. But you know, these were some stress making. These stressed me out. And the reason they stressed me out was because I used that tiny little 4mm crystal round beads. And here I was trying to wire wrap that. And I just couldn't do it. I kept cracking the beads. I think I cracked about 4 or 5 of those little beads. And I still may go back and redo this because I like to wire wrap it. But since this is a 16 gauge wire, that loop is not going anywhere. And of course, I made the head pin, well, the ear wire here. It's just a simple loop and a curve, and I got my ear wire on here that way. And this turned out to be nice. So this was the last set that I made. Now, I really enjoyed the little paddle. Actually, this little paddle was a 1/2 inch long, but it looked kind of dangerous. So I cut it off, and I sanded, and I rounded off, and it came out to be this way. And I think it's so much nicer that way. So this is the last set. So let me know what you think of it. And what's your favorite color? Blue is not mine. I never thought about it. And I even looked in my closet and I don't have very many blue pieces. So I got to remedy that. All right, folks, that is it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, stay tuned just for a few minutes longer and I'll show you some still shots and they'll give you a better overview of all the items that I made. And they turn out really, really nice to me. And I'll give you a hint of my favorite. Can you guess what's my favorite? I'm not saying a word, but can you guess? All right, now, you all take care and be safe. See you the next time. Bye-bye.